Hi, welcome back to the Money, Wine, and Cheese Club, where we talk all things money and lifestyle. My name is Sarah, and I'm your host. And today we are talking about something that is very dear to me: life after 50, life in our 50s. So I'm a little bit tired of listening to 25-year-olds on social media telling me that it's never late to start over. Okay, thank you. I mean, it triggers me. Nothing against them. They're doing their job, and I'm sure they know what they're talking about. But what about me, right? Do I think it's never too late to start over? Do I think I have what it takes? Do people in their 50s think they have what it takes? Well, if, like me, you think you don't, think again. Today, we're going over some steps of things we can do to live in the present moment. Let's talk a little bit about how to let go of the past and really create a purposeful life where we are right now, while continuing to or starting to create financial abundance for ourselves. That turning 50, it's a big milestone, right? It's a time to reflect on this journey called life. And I made a lot of mistakes. And if you've been here long enough, my blog, I've made all the mistakes in the book and then some. Now, I let that consume me for a very long time. And each time I wanted to create a budget and really start taking my financial journey seriously, get out of debt, just create a better future for myself and my family. I always let my judgment and my fear stand in the way, because I kept thinking, well, I've made all these mistakes, I'm no good, I will never be able to. And it took me a while to really let go of that and just start where I was at and go from there. What I had done, I had done. Now I had to take responsibility and go from there. Letting go of past mistakes must be the most important of all the steps we're going to talk about today. So if you're having a hard time, before even moving on to other steps, I have like a long list here, just like 5 or 6. Um, so just journal about it. Just think, why is it so hard for you to let go of all those mistakes that you've made? It's a learning process. We don't come into life with an instructions manual. So I truly believe that we do our best with what we've got in that precise moment. So we did it that way because we didn't know better. And now we are finally taking responsibility for our actions, and we're going to move forward. So letting go and forgiving ourselves, having some grace toward ourselves, is very, very important. Then once we've let go of those things, and believe me, it's not easy. It's very hard because we've been telling ourselves for so long that we don't deserve, that we're no good, that we can't, that, suddenly you're telling yourself, yeah, that's fine, let it go. It's not going to be easy, and you're going to be struggling a little bit with this. But the trick is, each time you get those thoughts, just stop and think, okay, I'm in control here, and I've done that, I've been there, and that's not me anymore. Today, I choose to move on. Today, I choose to believe that I can do better. Even if it's only 1 degree, even if it's only a little bit, whatever it is going on for you in your life. And I'm talking about money because that's mostly what I talk about here, but it's also very important that we let go and that we forgive ourselves for past mistakes we've made with people. And for me, this was a huge one. And it wasn't until I realized that actually forgiving people doesn't mean you have to stay in contact with them, doesn't mean you have to be friends again, doesn't, even if it's family, it doesn't mean that you have to let all that toxicity inside, or that, or maybe it was, your mistake. I've made those as well. So maybe you were in the wrong and that person does not want to forgive you. There's only so much you can do. So write a letter and just pour your heart out to that on that letter and just burn it. Just give it away. When I'm having a hard time, when I'm been journaling about something, whatever it is, be it financial, be it something practical, be it something, you know, um, in my head, some thoughts, whatever I'm struggling with, I usually just take a couple of breaths and I just ask the universe to, you know, help me deal with this and to just help me take care of this, help the people involved in this be enlightened, have some kind of breakthrough, and that everybody just, you know, lets go or just deals with it for the better of all people involved. And I feel that that helps me a lot. Whenever I am co creating my existence, the little bit that I do have control over, um, I want, there's always action involved. So whether you call it manifesting, whether you call it whatever you call it, doesn't matter, because if you just wish it and do nothing, that's going to happen. So if you wish it and take steps to make that happen, you can call it manifesting, you can call it co-creating, you can call it whatever you want, but there needs to be some action involved. So that's why I don't mind calling it manifesting. I know that it's not just a wishful thinking. I know that there's steps involved. So every time you are doing this, maybe just think, let this be resolved. Let this situation, just let go. I've done what I could on my part. Please, just help me, universe, that the people involved have a breakthrough in the situation and let them all move on. Let us all move on, always with the best interest of everybody involved at heart, right? That's just a given. Next, incorporate some mindfulness in your life. Now, this can be as simple as being present when you are doing something like brushing your teeth, like when you are on a walk. This can also be when you are talking to someone. Really listen to that person. Really be present for that person with no agenda, just being there. It also helps when you think, about your own life. And when you're letting go, just, that's the past. There's nothing you can do to make any of it go away or change. It's done with. So just be in the present and send good thoughts and good vibes to the situation, to the people, whatever went on, and move forward. Mindfulness. I go all in with mindfulness and I go all in with letting go of the past and using whatever I can to make that happen. And then my favorite one is have a gratitude practice. Okay, every day, just think about 3 things you are grateful for. And believe me, for me, sometimes it's just coffee. It's just being able to get out of bed, not having any pain in my body. Sometimes it's my family, sometimes it's my husband, sometimes it's my work, whatever. 3 things. Does not have to be complicated. You don't have to write an essay on each one of them. You can just even list the 3 things. Now, I hear that, just do it on your phone notes or whatever. Write it down with pen and paper, because when you are actually writing the words, it's a different feeling. So if you can, try that out. This is very important, not only in this case, but whenever you are trying to practice mindfulness and gratitude, pen to paper is the way to go. Okay. And then positivity is key to let go of all that past, all those things that for so long have haunted us. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't, it's not right. No, it's just that sometimes, and I believe we make mistakes because for so long, and we're not very in tune with ourselves because for so long, people told us what's right and what's wrong, and from a very young age. And it's important that slowly, and you'll get the hang of it once, when you start to go again with your gut feeling. It's a thing, the gut feeling. So, yeah, create positivity. I sometimes, collaborate with people or think about collaborating, or people reach out for me to collaborate with them, and I have this feeling that it's not going to end well. But I'm a nice person. I used to be a people pleaser. I'm still a people pleaser in recovery, and I just want to be liked, and I say yes, and then like the minute I say yes, I'm like, this is a mistake. It's happened a couple of times. So now I take my time. I don't say yes or no. I don't even, I even pretend I didn't understand what that person said. And I just let it marinate for a few days and before I make a decision. Or sometimes it's a yes, hell yes, right? But if it's not, I just, let it marinate there for a few days, not years. I let it marinate there for a few days before I give an answer, because I want to be sure that it's going to be a good experience for me, but also for the person, because they're reaching out because I put out this image. But, sometimes that's not the reality, because sometimes we see a really nice dress, it's amazing. And once we put it on, yeah, it's not what we thought at all. So this happens a lot with people. So yeah, create that positive environment and go with your gut feeling, start testing it out. How else can we create a positive thing? And this is a big one for me, social media. No, unfollow, cut people, if you're just going to social media and you're getting stressed and you're getting sad, and you're not feeling that gratitude because you see everybody else moving on in life, but you somehow seem to be stuck in the same place, that's not a good thing. So just get rid of everything. Just start over. You have to look after yourself, because this is also keeping your mental health in good shape, because nobody is in good shape when they're looking at a photo on Instagram and thinking, I can never get that. I can never have that for myself. We shouldn't say these things. It is what it is. People work hard for what they have. And sometimes we work hard for the things we have. And we have great things. We're just not grateful. We don't see it that way. We let ourselves get carried away and with things that don't even mean that much to us. Another thing that I find that helps a lot is to limit screen time. Now, this is easier said than done. But for example, I've realized in the last few days, so this is kind of new for me, that I have nightmares and I don't sleep well when I scroll on social media, you know, right before I go to bed. So I'm back to reading. And if I have to scroll on social media, it's at lunchtime or whenever I have a break or whatever. But I always like do it when I know that there's a hard stop, like I have a meeting or I have something to do after that. So if I don't have anything to do, I don't start, because it's very hard for me to stop, because I get all these ideas and I want to create TikToks and I want to, yeah. So no good. So maybe that's one that you can adapt for yourself as well. And then still in social media or not, engage with people that you like. Check up on family and friends and use social media for that, rather than to just scroll and see whatever, because everybody is trying to so hard to show you that. I keep thinking to myself, if they are living like that wonderful life, why are they spending so much time on social media? Why? Aren't they happy in their life? Sometimes I think, I go out to dinner or something. Oh, I have to film something, take some pictures to put on my Instagram, to create a few posts because, money, wine, and cheese. We can, you know, do something nice with that. And I completely forget to do it because I'm enjoying myself. I'm present. I'm in the moment. I'm being mindful of the people I'm with. So that's why you don't see a lot of those kind of pictures on my feed. I mean, you might see in a day, you might see 10 that are very similar because I'm bored or because I was scrolling and everybody's just there and I want to be there as well. So let's think of why we're actually posting or engaging on social media. That's a big one for me. And then comes the financial planning. Now, this is very important. And I'm all about budgeting, about creating spending plans. I believe that a budget is freedom to spend, all this about me. And I do really think everybody should have a budget, a spending plan, call it whatever you want, because it's your roadmap. It's like setting a goal. When you set a goal or when you manifest, if you don't take steps to go in that direction, nothing's going to happen. I don't care how much you manifest. I don't care how much moon water you drink or how many crystals you have. If you are not taking steps to make sure that you are going in that direction, nothing's going to happen. It's the same with your money. If you are not taking care of it, if you're not telling it where to go, if you don't know where you're spending it, your goals, your life is not going to happen the way you are wanting it to because you are just not that intentional about it. You're not being mindful of the money you have. And that's a really big thing for me. So that's something that I think everybody should have a budget, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time. It just, you need to know where you're at. And hey, start today. Go check out how much you have in your bank account, check out if you have anything coming out, if you need more money there or less money there. And then slowly start going back and see what expenses you have and how much you are spending on any of this. Now, I would usually say to track it, but just if you can go back 3 months and just do it that way, because then you're not auditing yourself. It is what it is. You spent what you spent. Because if you start today, it's like, when you have to log in all the calories, well, you're going to think twice about that chocolate because you don't want to write that down if somebody else is going to see it, right? So with budgeting is the same. If you know you're going to have to put down that you went 3 times to get coffee today, you're not going to want to write that down. So you're not going to do it. So you're already editing yourself. So it won't be realistic, or at least it won't give you a picture of how you've been spending and, how you've been going about it. And that's really, really the most important point that I would think to give you today on the financial planning, on the personal finance. Now, smart spending. I believe a budget is permission to spend. And I don't care how much you budget for you to spend on whatever you want, not our needs, but our wants. And it's important that we budget that in. If it's $10, stick to it. If it's 1,000, stick to that. Okay? Because there's a lot of us that are making good money and we have very little to show for it. Once you decide how much you can spend, because it's in the budget, because you've accounted for all the money, you can spend that money on whatever you want. And that's freedom because you don't have to be worried if you're going to have enough money until the end of the month. You don't have to worry about groceries because you've accounted for all of that in a budget. So this is really, really, really important. And it's like something that everybody should do. Creating that roadmap, if you are creating that life you want, you might want to think again about how you're spending your money. It's yours to spend. We agree on that. And you can do whatever you want. But maybe this is an area that you can explore further once you've set the budget, once it's ongoing, and it's not all about saving, because then we're just going to get tired of it and just spend more than we should. Start the budget, account for all the money, give yourself money to spend, and then with that amount, depending on whatever it is, see if you have other goals that you want to create and how you can better spend that money, if that makes sense, how you can better allocate that money towards those goals or your current lifestyle. I I'm a true believer that we should create our best life today, not wait until we're out of debt, not wait until we are retired, not wait until, lose the weight, whatever it is. But I also think that we can really create a very nice life for ourselves and still be very mindful with our spending. Okay, so moving on. It's also important that we have a healthy lifestyle. And when I mean a healthy lifestyle, I mean it has nothing to do with your body. It has not, well, it does, but it's not about losing weight. It's not about looking good. It's not about going to the beach and, be the envy of everybody's envy. No, that's not it. It's about hydrating yourself. It's about eating foods that are good for you. It's especially feeling good with how you are treating your body. And that's very important because when we are hydrated, when we drink our water or whatever, we make better decisions. Our head is clearer and life is good. Life is so much better when we drink water or flavored water or whatever, or tea, whatever your hydration is. It just changes our life. I know that for me, when I drink my water or my teas, I eat more fruits, I eat more vegetables, and that makes me feel good. Also, for our mental health and our emotional health, it's important that we keep learning, that we keep educating ourselves, that we keep seeing people, that that we have a social life, that we have someone we can talk to. And I know sometimes it's hard, and there are people that we cannot tell our life, but it's important to have support. It's important to have someone we can talk to, even if that means therapy, a counselor, whatever. It's a group, a support group, belonging to a community that is curated, that people, like-minded people are in. I know I'm in a couple of them for business, and then I'm in a couple of them for myself as well, for my well-being, to connect with other people that are also on this journey of self development and just creating a better life altogether, with not trying to sell anybody anything, but just to be there and support each other on their journey. Last but not least, I want to talk to you about purpose and passion. Now, we all want a life full of purpose, or a purposeful life. We want to show up and live our true life and our purpose in life. And sometimes we don't know what that is. Now, that can be very different for a lot of people. It can be volunteering, it can be showing up for your family, it can be showing up for your work because you love it and because it fulfills you and you are helping people that way. It can be a number of things. And I just encourage you to try and figure that out. Also, following your passions. Maybe you want to start painting, watercolors, and you've never even done it, but you'd love to. Go for it. Maybe you just want to carve out time once a week to be with yourself, to go on a walk, to something that you are passionate about, something that will bring that excitement out. That's very important to create the life we want to live. And that's also something I'm always talking about, because I really, with all the budgeting, with all the financial, that is just a cover for us to create our life that we want to live without worrying about the financial aspect. That's why it's so important that we take care of that part. I hope this really, really, really was something that you needed to hear today. Our life is very complex. Life is hard. That for me, it helps to compartmentalize it and just, look at one and look at the other. That's where you can look at the wheel of life and see exactly where you are at in each of those categories. If you haven't subscribed to the Life Mastery magazine, I'm a co-founder, and we talk about that stuff every single month. We have people come in and talk about whatever the theme of the month is. So maybe that's something that will interest you. I'll leave a link in the comments or below. And yeah, maybe check that out. And that's it for me today. I want to thank you so much for being here. It's never too late to start living our best life. Thank you again so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.